I'm tired. Do you guys have a minute?
We were talking about...
Yeah, but I don't... Especially when I...
Does that mean our only...
No, we're not just going to be running away. I have no idea what kind of place... All I know is that it's an independent religious state. Unlike my father and brother, I've grown up not... Even now, there's probably more I don't know about this place than I just want to do whatever gives us the best chance to learn something new. What do you guys think?
I agree. The hideout might be safe, but nothing would change if we just sat here and held our breath. Besides, Togetsu's isolation means a lower chance of being attacked by Suo or Kasane on Seiran's behalf.
I don't know what kind of place it is, but it might be worth checking out.
I don't mean to make this a case of process of elimination, but I doubt we can get any more information from Suo or Seiran. Besides, as someone looking to uncover this country's secrets, I'm intrigued by Togetsu. It might also give me a chance to learn my brother's true intentions.
Actually, there is something I remember about Togetsu. A while back ago, my uncle had mentioned about a deal he had made with them for work.
You mean the OSF hospital?
Yeah. Even though it's an independent city, they apparently have normal business transactions. What is it that they were dealing? I think he said food and medical supplies, although I'm not sure if it's still going on to this day.
It's likely that there's more to the deal than that.
If the OSF hospital is involved, it will surely be connected to power research or metamorphosis technology.
Is it just me, or does Togetsu seem a little fishy?
We have to accept a certain level of danger. As they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks for remembering something so important, Hanabi. We'll be able to keep an eye out for that now.
You're coming, right? To Togetsu? I mean... Of course. Whatever deals my uncle had with them have nothing to do with me. And if they're doing something bad, we'll just take them out.
I'm not sure we should go there looking to pick a fight.
Figuratively speaking. I'm glad you'll be coming with us, Hanabi. You make people feel so... warm inside. What? Really? Like, I set the mood for the group?
More like Togetsu is in the middle of snow-covered mountains.
What? You're after my pyrokinesis?
Well, Commander, I guess we know our platoon's goal now.
Yeah, you're right. Let's move out. Our next destination is Togetsu. Yuito Mountain. It's all snow and ice.
It's cold. Colder than I thought.
This is pretty rare.
That one explodes. Don't get too close to it.
Here we go!
That must be its weak spot. If your body begins to burn with fire, it'll drain your health, so be careful.
I'm borrowing this, Gamma!
Yuito, my power may be helpful.
We're always together. Does that mean you rely on me?
Watch out for electricators. You won't be able to move if you're electrified. Finally broke. Let's go, everyone. This is good.
Maybe I got better.
Do you need help?
My fault.
Use something big to break its outer shell. Use psychokinesis. It sprays something like oil. Don't get it on you.
Good timing.
Shell breach confirmed. Put the pressure on.
Leave it to me!
I guess I'm getting better. Using Luca's teleportation would make this easier.
Good job. There were a lot of them. No one's here. I guess they wouldn't be.
Togetsu is farther up the mountain. It acts like a natural fortress for the city. Quite a while.
It really...
Yes, I'll manage.
Get behind me. I can at least...
Thank you. I should really start training like you do.
Togetsu is the home of the Faith's main temple. Apparently it's kind of like a cult. That's what I...
With their main temple this far from...
Let's see. The Togetsu faith. Ah, here we go. The founder is Hitoyo Pope. The religion has a long...
You would think the fact that...
I'm sure Kagero knows a lot. Did he tell you any?
No.
Oh. Well, they have a unique lifestyle there, but they're not totally cut off from us.
That's what former Major General Karin said. We probably won't be welcomed with open... Okay, just...
It's split. Take down the real one and the dummy will disappear. Yuito, figure it out.
Do it, Yuito! One more!
Get down! Give it everything you've got! Go, Yuito!
Now die!
It finally broke. Let's go, everyone.
My clairvoyance. Use it, Yuito. Advice.
That must be its weak spot.
I can hit it!
Looks like the enemy dropped something rare.
I'll be your shield!
Trading leads to results.
My fault.
Don't hesitate!
Drag you inside my field. I'll protect you all. I'll destroy everything. I'll take care of it. You're weak.
Damn it!
I mean, this is what's right. I have to do this.
Happened.
This is pretty rare.
I need your help!
Water attack. Getting wet limits your mobility, so be careful.
Hey!
Found the weak spot. Yeah. That's a big blaze. That was just too many. I train every day, so I'm ready to go to the front lines whenever I'm needed.
Here you go! I'll warm us up with my pyrokinesis. Sorry. The sustained burn really tires me out. That's enough of that.
doing this, Gamma?
Successfully reached shell. Attack now.
Now die!
That was a good attack.
Go, Yuito.
That must be its weak spot.
Next.
All right.
Isolate them. Now!
Thanks, Shigumi!
One more!
Leave it to me! Come on!
That was impressive!
Hey!
Now die! It's over!
Go, Yuito!
Lend me your eyes!
You're free to use it.
I made it. Thanks, Luca.
Leave it to me!
Yuito!
The shell is broken. Give it everything you have.
Yes! I can hit it!
Good timing.
Do it, Yuito!
Thanks, Shigumi! Another one! Next.
Found a weak spot. Yeah. Damage to outer shell confirmed. Keep going and break it.
Go, Yuito!
Come on!
Focus!
Yeah! Yes!
You took it down, Yuito.
Yes!
That's all of them. You did well, Yuito.
Finally broke. Let's go, everyone. Don't get too close to that odor. You'll get caught in its explosion. Watch out for electric attacks. You won't be able to move if you're electrified. If your body begins to burn with fire, it'll drain your health, so be careful. It's down. Give it everything you've got. Yuito, my power may be helpful.
You got this.
Try using my power, Yuito. All right. It's right. Something like oil. Don't get on me.
Show me you have Yuito.
I feel the power coursing through me.
Leave it to me!
I'm feeling really good. I mean, this is what's right.
Too slow!
There you are.
Master Yuito has arrived.
Welcome to Togetsu.
Huh? Hello? This isn't what I expected at all.
Lady Hanabi Ichijo, we are forever in your uncle's debt.
Yes, thank you. So, what does he do for you again, my uncle?
He mainly provides us with food and medical supplies, and we give him resources in return.
Resources.
Thank you for this warm welcome. I didn't expect it on an unannounced visit. So we...
You are interested in our knowledge, yes?
Huh?
You are a special guest. Please come with me.
It seems we're being welcomed in, though I don't know why.
You could say it's a stroke of luck, but that's a little too convenient.
It looks like they know we're here for information.
It seemed like they knew about Yuito and me too. I don't see anything or anyone strange around us, but there are many things I can't see.
It honestly doesn't feel right to me, but we won't know anything unless we keep going. Let's follow those people. Sugumi, let us know the
Got it.
Copy that. Look at all of them. It's amazing. Are these real books? If I could, I would like to read them all.
What is this place?
Please speak to history. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for.
Speak? Who are we supposed to speak to?
Besides us, there's no one else in this room. Oh, maybe she means we should read the book on that desk.
What is it that you seek?
Kyoka?
What's going on?
Name, Kyoka. One relevant result. I will provide him. Kyoka Eden is one of the
Design what? What does this thing mean, create?
Design children. I've heard that phrase before. If I'm not mistaken, they're people that were designed with specific genes for desired outer appearance and physical ability.
I looked into it too. It's basically what Luca said, but it says it's just a theory and impossible to implement.
Yes, it's kind of hard to believe. How could a mere religious group have such advanced technology? And how could Kyoka be one of them?
I've never heard that she was involved with Togetsu, but this vision really does look like her.
This form is not Kyoka Eden. It is Dr. Hitoyo Pope, the expert in neuroscience and power research, and founder of the Togetsu faith.
What? So you're saying Kyoka and Dr. Pope have the same face?
Yes, Kyoka Eden was created.
Dr. Pope made...
No. Dr. Pope passed away.
2,000 years ago? That's the same time that New Himuka was founded.
Oh, I see. So, does that mean there's information here on New Himuka from that period? Huh?
The moon watches over you.
It's gone.
It felt like we were having a conversation with it, but I think this is just a database searching terminal with voice control. And from the looks of it...
So, can we just...
It doesn't seem too dangerous. Whether or not the information is accurate.
Right.
Let me try sitting this time.
What is it that you seek?
Where should I start? Let's see. What was New Himuka like when the country was first founded?
New Himuka. I will provide information on the country's history. New Himuka was founded 2,020 years ago on Earth as a nation of Ark citizens.
Ark citizens? What's that?
The title of the colonists that came to Earth from the moon.
What?
From the moon?
Yes. In the beginning, mankind prospered on Earth. But let us take a look at what happened 3,000 years ago. Environmental changes caused by a shift in the Earth's orbit drastically decreased the Humans emigrated to the moon and built a city there to ensure the survival of their species.
What are you...
After the 1,000-year renovation project, Earth's environment became mostly inhabitable again. So...
I'm not sure I'm quite getting it. You're saying people moved from the Earth to the moon and then came back down to Earth?
Wait a minute, I can't keep up.
They dispatched colonists. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you mean that a group of people were selected to leave...
That is right.
If that's true, then there are still people on...
What did you say?
The moon watches over you.
Oh. What do you think?
I gave up trying to understand halfway through.
It's so absurd that...
There's no mention of it at all in my info network. Some religious scripture of Togetsu.
If colonists founded New Himuka...
Hang on.
If what this vision says is true,
If all that stuff about the moon is true, that...
Is there... I'm like high-key afraid of the other
Well, I'm done sitting.
I feel someone watching. No one should be there, though.
It appears.
Let me give it a try.
What is it that you seek?
Continuing from before, are there still people currently living on the moon?
I cannot properly answer that request.
Why not?
At this time, all communications with the moon are suspended.
Suspended? Oh, the extinction belt.
Yes, due to the effects of the extinction belt, no information from the moon reaches Earth.
Huh? But with the extinction belt there, the colonists wouldn't have been able to come down from the moon. They'd be attacked by others.
No. When the colonists made their descent from the moon, the extinction belt did not exist yet.
It appeared after the colonists came to Earth?
Yes, that is correct.
We were taught that the extinction belt was born in the spring of extinction.
That happened when the nation was founded.
The colonists came to Earth, then the extinction belt appeared, and New Himuka was founded. That lines up. That being said...
So the others appeared with the extinction belt.
That is incorrect. The others suddenly started appearing long after the extinction belt appeared.
What? It wasn't at the same time? But aren't others born in the extinction belt?
The moon watches.
Now I really do feel like the moon is watching me.
The others are even more mysterious now.
Gamma, are you alright?
Yeah, but I just can't get myself to believe all of this. How about everyone else?
I can't go along with it either, but all we can do for now is accept it and try.
There's one more terminal.
Do the rest of you feel something strange?
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Then I'll sit.
What is it that you see?
Let me try being direct this...
I cannot access the information.
Babe?
So the terminal's here.
That may be true, but the vision hasn't disappeared. Also, isn't it weird that our random questions and the permissions of the terminals all lined up?
So, you're saying Togetsu...
I'm sure they do, but I don't know what it...
The reason we came, maybe they knew about. Of course.
But what happens if we match everything? Will we just tell everyone that we can't?
You're right. Even if it...
Yeah, I think so too. We need information.
I will provide information on current sense.
Huh?
Kunot Gate, the pseudo-black hole that...
It's talking about that localized gravitational anomaly. There actually hasn't been much...
This gravitational anomaly is continuing to expand.
What?
The Earth is gonna be
The Kunot Gate is expected to expand in response to the power of Yuito Sumeragi. It is likely that the destruction of Earth is unavoidable.
Why is it mentioning Yuito?
The destruction of Earth. And you're saying it's Yuito...
But there is nothing...
Hang on. What about my power? What does the Kunot Gate have to do with me?
The Kunot Gate. Souls return to Mother Moon.
Hey!
Don't let what it said bother you. It was probably just trying to scare us.
The Kunot Gate? I did indeed hear that hole is pulling in things around it.
So, it's saying the hole will get big.
No, it's dangerous. Yuito, I know hearing your own name shocked you, but this...
Yeah, it doesn't feel true. But if what they're saying is true,
Are you okay?
yeah. There isn't any proof, but it might be. But if I find out that it is indeed true, and the Kunad Gate is linked...
Okay, we're done checking the terminals. But I wonder what this babe...
Yeah, I wonder what it meant by...
I see you seek information on Babe.
You s-
Please proceed through the door in
Sorry, but
the city computer managing Togetsu.
They have something like...
This way, please.
this is suspicious.
Outsiders would in no way be allowed access to a system on the level of...
And you gotta wonder, why would such a small...
Leaving now is not an option for us.
There's a huge room on the other side of that door.
Be careful. Our communicate...
Copy. We'll...
It must be Babe. We don't know what might happen. Let's stay on our toes.
Is this the Babe terminal?
Yes. I'm sure you are. That doubt will turn to belief if you speak with Babe. Please. The moon is all...
Wataru. No good.
Let's get the information we need in...
Yeah.
Be careful.
Oh, I guess... How do we get information? This feels like... What is...
Stop! What you're doing is to... cut the connection. Can you hear me, Yui?
The connection... Babe is...
Yuito? Are you okay?
What just happened?
It seems like they were trying to...
We have to stop.
That believer was acting strange. They...
Luckily enough, Yuito's all...
Yeah.
Yuito, I forced myself.
Kasane!
Instead of thanking me, why don't you help me?
They have?
They're being held in some room, but I don't know. I want you to try to unlock all...
Okay, I'll...
What are they doing in Togetsu? Babe is the computer that controls all of Togetsu, right?
Why do you ask?
Kasane forced a brain talk connection with me. She said our...
What?
Is she after you again?
No, I only realized I was in danger because she wouldn't have helped me if she was planning to kill me.
All right. It's unlikely that Kasane or her
Luca?
We can't let Yuito be taken over. Don't worry. It looks like I can
Helping Kasane platoon is all well and good.
Right. That's to be expected.
Thanks, Luca.
And I'm connected. Is everyone alright?
We're okay, but we might be in trouble. We need to get out of here.
They're coming. Move! Kasane?
Did she come with Kyoka?
breaking through! What was it that just attacked us?
Design children.
So it's not just Kyoka.
Can you think of another?
Enemies approaching at 4 o'clock.
There's no time to talk. This is pretty rare.
I'm borrowing this gamma!
I would like to be useful.
That one explodes. Don't get too close to it. Those followers who attacked us all look like Kasane and Kyoka.
Does that mean that all the Togetsu followers are design children?
I'm ready!
Looks like the enemy dropped something rare.
Great job, Yuito. That last attack finished it.
Doesn't look like...
Looks like it, but
I wonder if
whoa, other...
Dead ahead.
No, there are...
Are you okay?
No. I'm...
That ice is like armor, but my power might be able to melt it.
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. Yuito, use my power to get inside the water.
I'll be your shield.
Do it, Yuito!
You should be able to break the outer shell if you keep attacking.
Someone's down. This isn't good.
I'm borrowing this gamma.
Okay, Hanabi?
Yeah.
Hanabi, let's go!
Damage to outer shell confirmed. Keep going and break it.
Your mobility declines when you're wet.
I'll be your shield.
Man, that hurt!
Here we go. I can still fight. Some help, Luca.
One more!
Someone's in trouble. Pay attention. You should be able to break the outer shell if you keep attacking.
I'm taking your fire. I need your help.
I need to support the injured.
Hanabi, let's go!
Brain drive!
Endure it.
I'll protect you all. I'll destroy everything. I feel the power coursing through me. I'll protect you all. I'll destroy everything.
This way.
You're weak. I just want to know the truth.
Yuito! I'm following!
Damage to outer shell confirmed. Keep going and break it.
Here you go!
This other's punches are as heavy as its size implies. It would be reckless to approach with no strategy. Shell breach confirmed. Put the pressure on.
I had it!
Lead on!
Do it, Yuito!
No way! This is it!
That was a good attack.
Target eliminated. And everyone's safe.
How's your head?
I'm better now. Sorry I made you worry.
Yuito, can you and your...
Kasane! Oh, I'm glad.
Are you near us?
Yes, but let me make a suggestion. And we have a lot.
And here I was thinking Okay,
Good, that's a...
we'll be waiting.
Roger that.
Sorry.
You're the one Kasane is after. If that's what you want to do, I don't...
I told you that I think she had a reason for trying to kill...
What are you gonna do if she doesn't want to talk?
Then,
Okay, if you say...
if I'm right
I'm a little worried about meeting up with Kasane. I mean, I hope we can talk to her, but...
I'm not just going along blindly, but it was your decision. I want to respect that.
Yeah. They're here.
Kasane!
I was able to rescue them thanks to your...
I should be thanking you.
Hey, Kasane.
I told you. She was the one that saved me.
I know. But I want to...
You have all the right in the world to doubt me. In fact, I don't blame you. We should talk and find a better solution. It took me too long to come to...
Something's different about you.
I know this will sound ridiculous. I tried to kill you because I was asked to. By you. 50 years in the...
Me? 50...
I completely understand how you feel. If I hadn't seen it with my...
Do you remember when Captain Seto died on the Kuna? My time travel power, the red strings, activated. Then we jumped 50...
What?
Red strings.
It wasn't a dream. I have the... And Yuito. Apparently you have the same power as...
What? I know we both...
It seems you understand these... Just where did you get that knowledge?
Yes, it was. We saw Yuito.
He also asked...
Right. I'll tell you everything.
Who should I ask for?
The thing that appears when the red strings are used is like a device to time... Normally, it appears only for an instant and disappears. Left open like that, the gate will eventually...
In that world, the Kunad Gate, the end of the world. It seems that in that future, the gate had expanded so much that
At first, none of us could believe what we got some news in Seiran, then a bunch of stuff. But I have to admit, it's got...
The power we both have is actually... When that gravikinesis becomes strong enough, I had no idea. The power we both have is when that gravikinesis becomes strong, I had no idea.
It was when Kasane used the red string, but when her power activated, on top of that, the gate seems to be slowly expanding. And looking at the news we got...
The Kunad Gate will disappear.
That just can't be true.
It was already too late in the future, which is why he wanted me to kill you in the past, so the Kunad...
So my power affect... I've had a bad feeling since listening to that video.
So you knew.
Yeah. I didn't want to believe it, but it's true. So, the me in the future... I guess I just wasn't able to end it myself. How lame.
That's not true. The you in that time was great. And you right now is special too.
That makes me feel a little better.
That reminds me. How it...
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
Then first and foremost...
Yes, of...
Kyoka, are you one of the design children from Togetsu?
Yes. I'm a clone made in Togetsu. My genes come from the founder of the Togetsu faith, Dr. Hitoyo Pope. The city is filled with chosen psionics, designed from the same genetic data as me. We are the...
I see. I guess that's why Kyoka and Dr. Pope look the same. We were shocked when we saw Dr. Pope's vision in the Togetsu facility.
I hate to ask this, but if she was one of the...
Yes, Kyoka was a spy. She decided to live as one of us. I vouch for Kyoka. She's...
Yeah, I believe...
What?
The way Kasane looks at Kyoka is proof enough. Though, that's kind of an embarrassing way to put it. Honestly, I don't know much about Kyoka, so I can't really make this decision myself. But I do know Kasane. I wanted to talk to her to if I trust Kasane,
Shiden, there's no need to get so riled up.
Yeah, I just remembered how stupid...
Hey, Kasane.
What? What are...
In Togetsu, we saw design children with the same...
Yes.
That's a weird way to say it.
I remembered a little from when I was a child. From what I recall, I was told it only just came back to me.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry,
You're very kind, Hanabi.
You're so nice to her.
Really? I wasn't trying to be.
Yeah, there is.
Huh? Did you hit your...
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah.
All right.
We learned all of this after looking through Togetsu's archive.
But if you were a Togetsu spy,
Yeah, indeed what we were taught. But if that...
Actually, no.
What do you mean?
Tsugumi, don't look at me like that.
Kagero, there's a lot I want to ask you. Do all Togetsu...
Right, about that. Besides, the place is
I must say, it didn't look like a religious establishment to me.
Now, I said mostly, didn't I? I'm a colonist from the moon.
Get real. Even if there actually were colonists from the moon, that would have been 2,000 years ago.
Cold sleep.
Yes, exactly. A few dozen colonists are being kept in cold sleep. They wake us up in turns to check on the state of the Earth.
Hold on.
Look, I don't expect you to believe me right away or in... The people of New Himuka wanted to live on Earth, so those that wanted to return to the moon may... Togetsu doesn't care about New Himuka. They're an egotistical lot that wants to return to the moon instead of living on this crappy other... But as long as the extinction belt is there, they can't go back. Not only that, there's news... So they got to thinking. What can they do to... They need to make it so the colonization...
The red string.
I see. They want... But wouldn't humanity eventually attempt to colonize...
To be precise, the plan is to only take the moon and Earth back in time with a few exceptions.
Is that even possible?
They believe the They plan to leave records of this timeline's history in the areas that were... so future generations won't attempt to
Hang on. I'm getting...
Whether you want to believe it or not, Togetsu... Kasane is the result of that.
Let's suppose everything... That means this isn't really the time to be... If Togetsu were to get what they're after, then none of us would have ever existed.
No, that's not right. We're all here
Kagero, why would someone... Can we assume that he...
Ruining their plan is something I've been working towards since the beginning.
That sounds great and all, but how are we supposed...
You don't have to. If you've got a... But whatever happens, I'm not going to sit back. I won't let them take her
Kagero means it. I can tell. It's been a long time.
Tsugumi.
Tsugumi knows Kagero best. Besides...
Yeah, if Tsugumi...
And if Yuito does, then I do too. Of course, I'll kill him.
Of course.
If we're going to believe Kagero, and then figure out what we can do knowing that.
We're stopping Togetsu's plan. That's all we can do. But it's too much for us to handle alone. We need someone who can move nations.
Are you going to ask New Himuka for help? We're fugitives there.
Even so, we have to. That doesn't mean I forgive them for the things they're doing, though. If they know what Togetsu is trying to do, they might realize their terrible actions are all in vain.
What if we asked Seiran for help? If they know about the Togetsu threat, they might realize that New Himuka isn't who they should be fighting.
I wonder. As far as I know, both New Himuka and Seiran should have a clear understanding about the moon colonists and... On top of that...
At least it's better than nothing.
Indeed. So, we should...
Yes, let's do...
And you go try
Let's do our...
I didn't think we'd find out so...
All we did was go to Togetsu, but it...
Good work, everyone.
It's... a bit...
The world we normally see is so small, but our horizons have expanded.
I'm glad we're on better terms with Kasane, too. That's...
Hey, everyone.
How your power is...
Oh, Haruka let me see Seiran's investigation into it, but the results were the same. At least we know it really is...
What if Yuito doesn't use his power?
No, I looked at the... At this point, I couldn't really find a link between Yuito's specific actions and the...
What?
No. You could say that just the existence of his power is affecting... It's pretty much safe to assume that the gate will...
Right.
I am sorry for how that sounded, but it's probably...
No, I'm glad you told me. If it's like you say...
We do not know all the details about...
What are you thinking, Yuito?
I want to ask you all a favor.
What is it?
After hearing all that in Togetsu, I'd be lying if... But there's still things We can never say for certain that there is no other... Just like we didn't know about the moon until we went to Togetsu. I'm sure Kasane had the same idea. So... I want you...
You had me a little anxious.
Gemma's...
Don't forget about my info network. I'll find out even the most...
This isn't just your problem.
There has to be a way. And I know we'll find it if we look together. We have to save both you and...
You guys... So...
Humans came from the moon, and the Earth is going extinct. It's so much at once that my head is spinning. We have to understand it all, though, so we can keep moving forward.
might not come out right.
It's a little in...
Yeah, but everyone in our platoon is not. I hope we can keep fighting together.
Maybe it's time to move beyond being childhood friends. What? Nothing.
Why are you anxious? I like that we're childhood friends. I want to talk to Luca for a change.
Yuito, this is perfect.
Yeah, sure. Are we lifting weights?
I'd like to keep it the two of us today.
Okay. So, what do you want to confirm?
No, we are... I brought you here because there's no one around.
Is something wrong?
Remember when we went to...
Yeah.
Did you hear the researcher?
Oh, well...
You're as bad at lying as ever.
Yeah. I didn't...
I see.
He won't look at me. How did you know that?
After we returned to the hideout from the old OS... Your face changed when you looked at me.
Oh.
Don't be. It was inevitable. I am curious, though. Why did you... It's a handicap to be a dud in this world.
Well, I didn't think that any of you would treat me. And everyone reacted just like I thought they would. It made... I don't think anyone would...
I don't agree.
Luca.
Unlike you. I may be a Septentrion, but my power was implanted. I wasn't born with it. It could suddenly disappear one day. That's the fear I've always lived with. I can't just change and become carefree like you.
No matter what the public thinks, you work harder than anyone else and achieved a lot.
You were strong. But I am not like you.
Luca.
This is who I am. Please don't...
Okay. I promise I won't.
Thank you. That's... I am counting on...
Don't worry. He looked worried. Maybe me... No.
You're working very...
You think so?
I can't be...
I'd like to get to know you even better. I was actually thinking the same thing. I think we can be better friends.
Yuito,
Yeah.
that white flower.
Did you find something out?
I'm not positive yet.
Yeah, it was
That mountain?
You did say something about...
Yeah.
You're going to...
Tahino.
What?
I won't...
No, that's...
It's fine.
That's true.
Yes.
You're kind of...
What?
It's no use. Yeah.
It's always so cold here. The flower we're looking for is probably higher up.
Yeah, we might have to go to the summit. This climate isn't its natural environment.
Okay? Let's go to the summit then.
That one explodes. Don't get too close.
Here we go!
Yeah.
This isn't the right flower.
She's looking for the flower with her clairvoyance. Hey, you have to watch your step here.
I'm fine. You should be careful. There's a rock under the snow on the right.
What? Whoa! Right. Thanks. Watch out for electric attacks. You won't be able to move if you're electrified. Looks like the enemy dropped something rare. If your body begins to burn with fire, it'll drain your health, so be careful.
You're free to use it.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot. Next. Successfully breached shell. Attack now.
I'm borrowing this, Gamma.
Something big to break its outer shell. Use psychokinesis. Spray something like oil. Don't get it on you.
Oh,
Wow.
close by.
What?
An other is walking.
Let's hurry.
No,
I guess we can't just
understood.
Don't hesitate.
I'm feeling really good. I'll protect you all. I'll destroy everything. Now go, go, go! Take this guy out now!
That should do it. Are the flowers okay?
They were trampled.
It looks like almost half of them.
I saw below the ground with my clairvoyance.
No way.
Some are just weak.
I see.
But I don't know what to do. I plan...
Will they just wilt if you bring them down from the mountain like this?
With the right nutrients, they'll be fine. I've thought about how... But the environment I'd be growing them in...
You're such a kind person. This is the best environment for them.
But... you
Just the fact that I was able to see them. So? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Huh?
So a little
When I grow a new plant, it's like...
I see.
Sure.
Hmm?
No.
Oh. There's obviously another... Well...
The flowers...
I'm looking forward to it.
You're good at taking...
Huh?
Yuito? Would you... No, never mind.
Did you want to say something? Just let me know when you...
Hey!
No. You said you'd be expecting me.
So you say, but you know you're ready to learn. Really? Don't look so...
I showed up like you told me to. I just don't feel comfortable.
Listen up. This isn't just hanging out.
Disaster?
There's a limit to how long you can live being that... So, I'm not telling you to totally change, but some coaching on how to loosen up a little... Okay,
Huh?
All right, next up, karaoke. What? Don't tell me you're tired already.
Ugh. I'm totally beat. You said all the best play...
Oh, gee.
Thank God.
That's because it's a...
Maybe you're right.
Well, it's not exactly being carefree. And to be completely honest, so, I enjoy life by escaping reality. I guess you could say it's a
When you say it like that,
Sorry about that.
I do feel a little loosened up.
Which means you need to escape reality.
What problems are you dealing with then?
I don't have any problems.
I really doubt that. Immigrating from the moon, I'm sure you have a lot of memories, both good and bad. You must have a lot.
All right. Enough about me already. We're here.
Okay. He dodged the question. I can't even begin to imagine what kind of life he's lived.